Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a transformative experience where we will delve into one of my most revealing speeches, a discourse that holds the key to unlocking your full potential and achieving unparalleled success in every area of your life. Today I stand before you not just as a speaker, but as a mentor, ready to impart upon you the timeless wisdom that has guided countless individuals to greatness. Assume the responsibility. These 4 simple words carry within them the power to reshape your destiny, to elevate your performance, and to propel you toward the life of your dreams. As we embark on this journey together, let us recognize the profound impact of taking full ownership of our lives. The concept of assuming responsibility is not merely about accepting blame or fault. It is about embracing the power you have to create the life you desire. It is about recognizing that you are the master of your fate, the captain of your soul, and that your actions, decisions, and attitudes shape the course of your destiny. But let us not be daunted by the magnitude of this responsibility. Rather, let us embrace it with enthusiasm and determination. With each decision you make, each action you take, you are shaping your future and determining the trajectory of your success. By assuming the responsibility for your life, you are reclaiming your power and setting yourself on a path to greatness. So, as we delve into this revealing speech, let us do so with open hearts and open minds. Together, let us explore the profound implications of assuming responsibility, confident in the knowledge that by doing so, we are unlocking the door to a future filled with unlimited potential and boundless opportunity. The motto of the winner is always, if it is to be, it's up to me. We don't seek others as solutions to our problems. As Henry Ford said, never complain, never explain. One of Brian Tracey's most revealing speeches is about taking responsibility. You are the architect of your own destiny. You are the master of your own fate. You are in the driver's seat of your own life. You are where you are, and you are what you are because of your own conduct and behavior. It has been said time and time again that it's not the government, it's not our parents, it's not your boss, it's not your family or your circumstances, it's you. If you ever want to seek the reason for how things are going in your life, look at yourself in the mirror. The highly responsible, high-performing human being always looks in the mirror. If you want things to be different for you, it's up to you to change them. One thing I've discovered, and sometimes it's hard to get used to, is the fact that no one else can live your life for you. No one else can make decisions for you. Ultimately, no one else really cares about you as much as you care about yourself. The motto of the winner is always, if it is to be, it's up to me. We don't seek others as solutions to our problems. As Henry Ford said, never complain, never explain. In other words, if you're not happy with something, change it, but don't complain about it. Complaining is a sign of weakness, but it's also a sign of victimhood. A person who complains is basically saying, I am a victim. I am weak. I am insignificant. I am a child. I am a victim. Please have compassion for me. And what this does is it undermines your self-esteem. It simply takes away all your motivation and self-confidence. Even the choice of words can be very detrimental. The reason people don't succeed is because they have excuses. You can't imagine a leader whining, complaining, and making excuses. As Mark Twain said, excuses are tools of the incompetent, used to build bridges to nowhere. One of the things we do is no more excuses. Either you do it or you don't. Step up or step out, but don't make excuses. I mentioned it before, but I can't emphasize it enough. You can only delegate control. You cannot delegate responsibility. You remain responsible for yourself throughout your entire adult life. You can delegate control by trying to make someone else responsible for your life and waiting for them to tell you what to do or not do, or give you a raise or promote you, demote you or hire you, among other things. Or you can accept responsibility. And accepting responsibility is mandatory. You can't move forward. You're stuck in place, almost as if there's a wall in front of you until you accept responsibility. Leap without returning to making excuses. We say that the word responsibility can be broken down into 2 words, response and ability. This ability to respond well in our life. Every time we effectively respond to a challenge, we grow and become stronger, more resilient, confident, and powerful. The only thing we can be sure of are the challenges. Your life will be a series of challenges after challenges. They will never stop. They will come like waves of the ocean, problem after problem. The only question is whether we can respond effectively. Whether we do it, we keep growing. As soon as we stop effectively responding to the challenges of outer life, we start to collapse. So, every time you face a challenge, just say, "Here we go again." This is what I do. I effectively respond to challenges. And the wonderful thing is that I learned this in metaphysics. Make the decision that no matter what happens, you will respond effectively. And you program yourself in advance to respond effectively no matter what happens. You take control. You accept responsibility and respond effectively. If you make that decision in advance, when the problem occurs, it's like they automatically activate the button. You're already prepared, and you respond effectively. You don't get angry, you don't get irritated, you don't cry or vent to others. What you do is say, "It's a problem, so we respond effectively." What do we do from here? This attitude is very, very important. It's the attitude of the leader. We know that we only feel good about ourselves to the extent that we feel in complete control of our own lives. There is a direct relationship between the amount of responsibility you accept and the amount of control you have over your life. In the workplace, you will always reach the level of responsibility that you are willing to accept for the outcomes. Your income, your status, your security, your power will always tend to be equal to the responsibilities you take on. Emerson said you can tell how big a person is by how big their responsibilities are. This is a distinct area where winners and losers separate. Winners always consider themselves the cause of what happens to them, while losers always blame someone or something else. Why should this be the case? Well, of course, it's a matter of convenience. We know that people always seek the quickest and easiest way to get what they want. And if something goes wrong, what they want is to get rid of the responsibility. The quickest and easiest way is always to blame someone else. But when we blame someone else to that extent, we surrender control of the problem to that other person and take control away from ourselves. We become more negative, more frustrated. The more we try to make other people responsible for the things in our lives that we don't want to take responsibility for, high-performance individuals discipline themselves and control themselves to keep their minds calm, clear, and balanced. It's important to talk about balanced minds. Renowned psychiatrist Thomas Szasz claimed that there is no such thing as mental illness. There are only varying degrees of irresponsibility. In his book, Living Successfully, he points out that the big difference between winners and losers, let me be direct, losers never accept responsibility, while winners always do. When things go well for losers, they attribute it to luck, and when things go wrong, they blame the system. In contrast, winners take both credit and blame for everything that happens to them. Responsible adults always consider themselves as if they were self-employed. They act as if they own the place. They treat the company they work for as if it were theirs. The worst mistake you can make in your life is to think that you work for someone else other than yourself. We are all self-employed. You are self-employed. I am self-employed. And all top professionals in every field and industry consider themselves as if they were working for themselves. Even if someone else signs your paycheck, they treat the company as if everything that happens in it is their responsibility. They accept full responsibility. If a graph falls off the floor, they never say, "That's not my job." When referring to their company, they say "we" and "our" instead of "they" and "the boss," and so on. If you understand this simple principle, you will understand one of the main reasons why some people advance rapidly in their careers, while others don't progress at all. Bosses, managers, and executives greatly value the level of commitment you have to your work. Another important point is that when we go to school in first grade or kindergarten, we stay in school for 12 years and maybe then continue to college or higher education. But we get the impression that our education is controlled and dictated by forces outside of us, like the state, the government, and the school system. When we leave school, we sometimes make the mistake of thinking that if we want to continue educating ourselves, it depends on our employer to do so. And it's one of the worst mistakes you can make because regardless of whether your employer offers you training opportunities, you are 100% responsible for continuing to improve your skills because you are working for yourself. In all cases, a good question you should ask yourself is, if your personal company went public, would you buy stocks in yourself? Are you the type of stock that increases its value and profits each year? Are you the type of stock that is on the rise in the market? Would you sell stocks in yourself to widows and orphans as a safe investment, or has the value of your stocks decreased in the market? In other words, are you a growth stock or a long-term hold stock? Because truly successful people consider themselves as growth stocks and work on themselves every day, every week, and every year to make the value of what they do worth more over time. The winning human being takes full responsibility for continuously improving their skills and becoming more and more valuable each year. Now here's another responsibility. Winners always ask what is expected of me. One of the qualities of high achievers is that they always focus on results. They always ask themselves, why am I on the payroll? And if you're not sure why you're on the payroll, the first thing you should do is sit down with your boss and ask why you're on the payroll. You don't have to use those words, but here's a very simple technique. Write a job description of what you think you're expected to do and make a list of all the things you're supposed to accomplish and give it to your boss. Ask your boss to organize that list in order of priority. What is most important? What is second in importance? What is third in importance? And then always work on what is most important to your boss. Ask yourself, what can I do, and only I, that if done well, will make a real difference for my company? If you own your own business, this question is even more important. But even if you work for another company, this is the key to rapid advancement and promotion. Do what will make a difference. Accept responsibility for specific results. Always results that make a difference. Winners always focus on solutions. They ask, where do we go from here? What do we do from this moment on? There's a big difference. We're eager to achieve things and do them the fastest and easiest way because we're often ignorant and don't know everything we need to know. We're often ambitious and in a hurry. We're often vain and our ego gets in the way. Because of these things, we make mistakes, and all human beings make mistakes. A person who cannot accept the fact that others make mistakes is not destined for greatness or leadership. Fully accepting responsibility for your success is the starting point of all great achievements. It means sitting down and saying that if something is going to happen or for you, it's up to you. You can't wait for other people to do things for you. You must take complete control. You'll find something very interesting when you take full responsibility for your life. Other people will help you, and if you don't, no one else will. And even if they do, it won't matter. So edit yourself. What do I want to achieve? Where do I want to go? Where do I want to be? What do I need to do to get there? And then take complete control of the process. If you walk, talk, and act like a responsible and self-assured person, you'll start to feel calm, confident, and positive about yourself. If you resist the tendency to blame others when things go wrong, if you discipline yourself to accept full responsibility for what happens in your life, your self-esteem will increase and you'll feel much better about yourself and everything you're doing. By practicing the self-discipline necessary to refrain from blaming someone else for anything, you develop courage, character, and self-esteem. If you do what successful people do, you'll be successful. And all successful men and women are responsible for themselves. I hope you understand that it's in your best interest to take responsibility for everything you do. I also want to suggest that many times it's even better to accept responsibility for other people's mistakes. I can hear you saying, why should I accept responsibility for someone else's mistakes? Just look at a baby. During the first years of life, every gesture, every facial expression, every halting word has a message for the baby's parents. I depend completely on you. I can't do anything for myself. Even if I try, I can't be responsible for the consequences. After all, I'm just a baby. Yet 10 or 12 years later, when the child enters adolescence, this message to the parents will be very different. It will sound something like this. Why don't you leave me alone? I want to be totally independent. I don't want to do anything except think about myself. I certainly don't want to accept any responsibility beyond my own very defined needs and desires. Only when we finally become adults do the first two messages, I depend entirely on you, and I am entirely independent of you, become you can depend on me, which is the true adult perspective. There are people in their 30s and 40s who still act like teenagers. And there are even people in their 40s or 50s who still act like babies when it comes to their attitude toward responsibility. These types of people can be difficult to be around, especially if you have to work with them. Anyone can come up with an excuse for absolutely anything, and people have never been better at it than they are today. But the downside of excuses, even good ones, is that nobody really believes them. No matter what people tell you, if you make excuses, they'll know it and think less of you. But if you refuse to depend on excuses, people will know that too and admire you for it. Many people use excuses, but no one really accepts them. And so, As we bring this journey to a close, let us take a moment to reflect on the profound impact of assuming responsibility in our lives. This speech has been more than just a presentation of ideas. It has been a call to action, a challenge to each and every one of us to step into our power and take control of our destinies. Assume the responsibility, and you assume control of your life. As you leave this gathering, remember that the power to shape your future lies within you. Each day presents a new opportunity to make choices that align with your goals and values, to take ownership of your actions, and to create the life you desire. By assuming the responsibility for your life, you are not only setting yourself up for success, but you are also setting an example for others to follow. But remember, dear friends, that assuming responsibility is not a one-time event. It is a lifelong commitment to personal growth and development. Embrace this responsibility with courage and conviction, knowing that by doing so, you are stepping into your true potential and unlocking the door to a future filled with possibility. Thank you for allowing me the privilege of sharing this revealing speech with you. May you carry its lessons with you as you journey forward, and may you continue to assume the responsibility for your life with determination and grace. Go forth with confidence, knowing that you have within you the power to create the life you desire. Your future is bright, and by assuming the responsibility, you are destined for greatness.